Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
Ballon d'Or 2024, Rodri, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad because, for starters, this is who me and Musa predicted to win the Ballon d'Or. When we were talking about the Ballon d'Or, it is just difficult to not give it to this man. The impact that he brought to Man City. Yes, they didn't win the Champions League, but still another spectacular year for Man City. And I think you could definitely say Rodri had some very big moments for them that year. And you can't ignore the run that Spain had. And once again, pivotal, even though and fitting because he plays the pivot for Spain. But he was a big part of it. Yes, you can give credit to Lamine Yamal, and I'm not saying don't give credit to Lamine Yamal, but there's I don't know, and I think, weirdly enough, Paul Scholes, I think, hit it on the nail when he just explained it to everyone that if you are a real football fan, you can see why Rodri won it. And it's purely from the fact that if you know ball, if you understand how the game is played, and let's be honest, midfielders just don't have stats. Like, there's not going to be a lot of stats, specifically even a defensive midfielder. They're not going to have the stats that you're going to see with a Vinicius Jr. or a Lionel Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, you're not going to see those stats because the play is on the field. You see what the impact is, which a lot of people were bringing back the Luka Modric year that he won the Ballon d'Or, which was very deserved. I don't care if anybody says differently. He deserved it. He literally took Croatia to the World Cup final. That's impressive by all means. And I mean, also amazing year with Real Madrid that year. Champions League, and I believe Copa del Rey. I don't think they won the Liga that year, but definitely a Champions League year. So, and once again, he's a midfielder. His stats aren't going to be the same as a Lionel Messi stat, but you see the impact on the field. You see what they do. And I think I've talked long enough. Jose, take it from here.
Yeah, bro, I agree. I would say, especially in an era of football that's just, it's different. It's much more pragmatic than it used to be, thanks to guys like Pep Guardiola. But I don't know. People are gonna say it's a sign of the times. I kind of agree. Like, I see their point, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Rodri, not even just this past year, man. I mean, the last couple, maybe even a few years in a row, this guy's been arguably the most consistent player in all of football. Never really gets he gets the flowers he deserves. I think everyone recognizes he's probably the best single defensive mid on the planet. I think everyone can confidently say that now, especially after the award being given. But yeah, you said it yourself. Midfielders don't get the flowers, the love. They don't have the stats. It's not sexy, but you can't argue that. I think pound for pound, position by position, he is the best and arguably the most consistent player on the planet. I can't think of another one right now off the top of my head. I think here's the thing with the winner, though, is like, it really could have been either of these three, right? You could make an argument, and solid one, for Jude, for Vinny, for Rodri. Any one of those finalists could have won it, and I probably wouldn't have batted an eye at it. I think all of the conversation becomes, was Vinny robbed? By definition, it's not a robbery, in my opinion, because it was so contentious. There was no clear winner. It wasn't 2021 when Leva, during the COVID season, when Leva had an insane year, basically, outshining every forward, striker, attacker on the planet, not even close. And that's a world with Messi and Ronaldo involved. And he didn't get it, The year Modric won it, you mentioned Modric, the year he won it, bro, Messi had a pretty insane year that year. I think he was 5th in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Like, there, you want to go back even further, right? Henry not winning at the Invincible season in 2004, there are plenty of examples where you can say that was a robbery. I don't necessarily agree with the 2003 Henry shouts versus Nedved, just because the Ballon d'Or is narrative driven. Like, that's what makes Vinny's case so strong. They went on to win Champions League. in the latter stages, he had fantastic, huge moments for Real Madrid. Moments that, every fan remembers on their march to another trophy. And that's why, Nedved won it back in 2003. That's why Vinny's name was such a massive favorite in this race, at least to many fans. But I'm not mad at this, and I don't believe it was a robbery. I think it's the only issue I really have with all of this, to be honest, is just how Real Madrid reacted. I think for Ancelotti to not be there to receive his top manager award, that sucks. And it sucks because the club is trying to show, they're trying to stand by their dude. They're trying to stand by Vinny, right? Show him support. But I just, it feels a little entitled. It does. It feels like they're bigger than football. And maybe in a lot of ways they are. But I always felt like football's for everybody. Imagine in that Messi Ronaldo era when it was just them back and forth. Sure, you got Kaká one year, you got Modric one year, but like for the most part, for the better part of over a decade, it was always them. Neymar was in there one time, Virgil, but like imagine had one of them just decided, fuck it. I mean, not only am I not going, none of our club is going. Right. I think in the 2017 Ballon d'Or, if someone could fact check me on this, I'm pretty sure when Ronaldo won it, there was rumors that Messi was upset and that he himself may not be going to the ceremony. But I couldn't imagine a world where Barcelona just decided, fuck it, we're not gonna go. None of us are gonna go. No one's getting on the plane just because Messi's not gonna win. Ronaldo's the favorite. Nah, we're not gonna do that. It just, I don't know, man. It's this victimizing of themselves that I don't really agree with. But outside of that, I'm not mad at who won. And I wouldn't have been really super upset had any of the three won. I said this pretty confidently. I think this is the 1 year where it feels like whoever does win, they're probably going to go down as like the worst winner, right? Like the worst winner in history. Because this year felt weird. It felt really weird with the finalists that we had. So, Rodri's deserving, but it could have been any one of those three.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Madristas here, but I didn't even have. I think I did have Bellingham in my top three. I don't know. No, I didn't. Wait, I had Lautaro Martinez. I know okay, I did have Bellingham. But like I would argue, I don't like when it comes to the moments, right? Jude had the La Liga moments, right? I mean, he had to score 2 goals in his first 2 El Clásicos. Unfortunately, he didn't do any in the third one. But and Vinny, yes, Vinny played like I expected him to play. I think when you talk about as a winger, his creativity, his flair, the fouls that he constantly draws, and I will say it is kind of bullshit. I will point out like apparently now how you respond on the field and off the field, it's now something that is a criteria. I don't remember that being on the list, but okay.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this though. I mean, the whole like class, yeah, on the field, and off the field shit. I think that's a BS. If they're just now releasing criteria, that's maybe subtly inserted for Vinny. I don't know because we haven't really had. When's the last time we had a finalist, a front runner that was as I don't know. I use divisive because it's not a better word, but Vinny splits opinion a lot, right? Not just between our two fan bases.
I could think of another, not I was gonna say Portuguese, another Brazilian
Neymar
that I think can be viewed as Though, like, let's be honest, what controversy did Neymar really bring?
No, he was just a party animal, bro. It wasn't like he wasn't like trying to, solve the racism issue, I guess you could say.
You know what I mean, right? Because everyone I mean the documentary that they dropped for Neymar, for example, like he's this controversial figure because he has a mohawk. I mean, like it was like I was like, he was just a kid. Like, I mean, yeah. It was just a kid, and this is what happens when you give a kid millions of dollars. Like, I mean, this is just what happens. And kind of same thing with Vinny. Vinny's just a kid. And I mean, look, I'm not gonna tell anybody how not to respond to certain comments. I mean, we saw, and once again, I like Madrista is like, don't put yourselves on a high horse, like as if we're not that racist either. Like I saw the clips. Like we all saw it. Like you guys were just as awful to Lamine Yamal as well. So, and I mean, Lamine Yamal, I think, applause to him that he handled it in his own way. Of course, Vinny. I think the thing is Vinny, he brings it on himself sometimes, and I get it. You brought that up once when we were talking about that, Jose. the things that he brings to himself. Obviously, the little moment where he literally rolls the ball away from Kimmich and the little shithousery that he does, which I mean, you'll love it or hate it. You love it when he's on your team. You hate it when you're against him. So I mean, like and it's not just that he's the only one that does it. Everyone does some sort of level of time wasting. I mean, if you watch a Liga MX game, you want to see plus 19 minutes of stoppage time. There you go.
Or even an award winner, right? Debo won goalkeeper of the year, the Yashin Award. And I mean, I can't think of a bigger shithouse, besides maybe Vinny, right? Or I mean, people love.
I don't know. I think Debo's definitely.
Yeah. Debo's up there, right? Like 1,000% Debo's up there. But like,
I've never seen Vinny dry hump a trophy before. So,
well, we've never seen Vinny win a World Cup, but. I will say this. I think even if you point to non-award winners, like the English love Jamie Vardy, but he's one of the biggest shit houses on the planet. And I think you just that part of his game can't upset you that much. It shouldn't anyway. Like if you're a fan, be mad in the moment if you lost the game and he's shit housing. But if you won, you're taking all of that right back and saying karma and rubbing in his face. So fans can be just as bad. I mean, I don't think that should be a factor. That's why the whole class criteria it's such BS. Like
it's a pushing of the goalpost in my opinion. Like I just think that's what it was. Like there's nothing wrong with just saying that you felt that Rodri, and apparently some guy in El Salvador definitely felt that way. I didn't even know we let Salvadorians have a vote in the French award, but apparently it's probably honestly it's probably Fernando Palermo. So it was probably him. He's definitely a Barca fan. But which I still love the guy. He's on EA Sports FC. So because I put it straight to Spanish commentary.
Hell yeah. Respect.
But look, there's nothing wrong with saying Rodri was the better player. I've even said Rodri was the better player. And okay, I guess we should just address the Carvajal argument. He's a defender. Like, I'm sorry. This is someone that loves defending, especially being a fullback. Obviously, that was like a couple pounds ago. But I mean, like, they're not going to defenders and goalkeepers are just not going to get that recognition. Like the closest that a goalkeeper or a defender would have gotten to the Ballon was Manuel Neuer, and the man was just. I think he was even taking penalties at one point that year.
In 06 too, there was Cannavaro. But like that's like I said, that and him being a Real Madrid player at that time, he literally had to be captain of Italy and hoist that World Cup trophy to even be in the running. Like there's he had an insane season, but a lot of other stuff had to come into play to get him as a defender into that trophy argument.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, Carvajal, you could definitely argue scored a goal in the Champions League final, had his moments as well for Real Madrid. I believe he had an assist in the Euro final. I could be wrong on that one. I could probably just be making things up.
I think he was very crucial for Spain across the entire Euros. Just like when he played, he was definitely one of their better players. Just like Rodri was. Like to be honest, like both of them were deserving of a final to show.
Yeah. So and I mean, top four, not a bad place for him in his scenario, but like. You can't put that same argument with Rodri. And once again, it goes to what midfielders do. Midfielders do, and I mean, I know defenders do dirty work. I'm not saying that they don't, but the midfielders, you have to play both sides. Like it's not like, attackers can choose to want to defend or not. Ask Cristiano Ronaldo, who never wants to press. But a midfielder, like, not only do you have to support the attack, you have to come back and defend. Like you are part of that 6, 7, whatever you guys want to put formation you want to create in the backline side, but it's a grimy and physical and it's a lot of cardio. I know I played midfield at some point in my life and I hated it. I was like, I would much rather be a center back. but yeah, there's just more into it technically, and that's just why maybe for a football fan, this was the right choice. Vinny, I get it. And I'll say, I'll throw Vinny and Jude both in the same umbrella on this one. If you would have won your international tournament, you would have won the Ballon d'Or, but you didn't. As a matter, and I mean, yes, Jude had his moments of brilliance in the Euro, and maybe you can kind of push that over. But Vinny, at the same time, had his moments of brilliance in the Copa America. And I mean, I don't know if he was the one that got injured or what was the situation, but when he wasn't playing, that's when Brazil looked even worse. So I think that once again, both of them, not even well, I mean, one was at the final. The other one didn't even get to sniff a final. And I think if both of them, if one of them could have won one of these tournaments, completely different story. And Rodri probably would not even be top 3. And I'm sorry that's going to be the case, but that might have been the case.
Yeah.
And so I think that if that was the case, yes. But Rodri was clear and cut. Like, if you are a football fan, and I'm saying football fan because this isn't a soccer discussion. This is if you know football, and that's if you watch worldwide and everything else. Because let's be honest, the soccer fans would have picked Vinicius Jr. And there's no shame to it. I agree. I think I would have loved to pick Vinny. But at the same time, if you are a fan of football, if you understand the football and all the intricacies that comes with football, it's Rodri. It's Rodri every single time of the day.
Yeah, I agree, man. And to put a bow on it, I think, I remember that clip you talked about with Scholes, and I think it was Rory Jennings going back and forth on it. And I see Rory's point. I think most casuals are probably, I don't want to put bucket fans into casuals versus diehard, but that's kind of what it seems like sometimes. Rory's argument is, the previous winners of this award have always been, frankly, the players you love to watch play the game, right? The ball carriers, the Ronaldinhos, of course, the Messi, the Ronaldos. Even when Kaká won it, I mean, he was insane, had an insane year, top scorer in the Champions League, was flying by defenders left and right. Was everything for Milan. Like, I get it. Like, those old days of how this award has been given out, who it's been given out to. Yeah, it's like what we know, it's what we expect the award to be, but I still think no matter what it means, the best player in the world, the individual best player in the world. And I would agree that is Rodri. And when Scholes said that, which I don't agree with a lot of what he says, to be honest, but I think he nailed this one. If you're an educated fan, you can't help but be impressed, right? Completely mystified by what you see with Rodri, because it's a beautiful football. And again, he commands his position in a way that I don't think any other player does in their respective positions globally. So it's, he earned it.
Exactly. Congratulations to Rodri. Obviously, everyone should be happy about this because obviously I lost the jersey bet. You guys try to talk me out of it. There's no arguing with me when it comes to a jersey bet. When I sniff one, I just got to do it for some weird reason. I think I have a problem. But that's not what my problem is actually your guys' reward. Once again, go on all our social media platforms. The video is right there. If you guys want to figure out how to enter for the jersey giveaway, it's really simple. Follow us on the X. Like, repost that, post that, the same video that you guys see in everywhere on social media. That's the same video you got to find on the X. Just like and repost. If you guys want an extra name on the ballot for your chance to win a Rodri jersey, you just got to screenshot me a picture of you following me either on LinkedIn, impressively on LinkedIn, on YouTube, IG, Facebook, wherever we are on social media. Just send us a screenshot and you get an extra name in the ballot. That's all you got to do. Pretty straightforward. Yes, I'm trying to get more followers on the X. Shocking. Anybody tries to do that. No duh. So if you guys want to get entered for a chance to win a Rodri jersey, once again, could be Spain, it could be Man City. It's totally up to you. That's how you enter into that competition.